So, in the garage again, as always. We get parts, and these parts are extremely dirty. So between dust, overspray, and just grime, this needed to all come back apart. And when I say this, I mean this. Yes, we're working on the coupe. What do you think, Squints? What are you doing on the ladder?
I don't know.
Oh, well, let's rock and roll, right?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? So it is Monday afternoon, and Squints got home from school. He wanted to work on the car, so I decided we should start working on the car. That was yesterday, actually yesterday on Sunday, and we took all the parts off the front because they are just gross, and everything needs to be gone through and checked and repainted.
They look cleaner on camera.
I know, they're really gross. So there's a lot of unfortunate overspray and grime and dust. But even the frame, everything is just, it's been together for 7 years, and the motor's been in and out of it a couple. Good?
Yep.
All right. So basically, if you show them, the frame is just gross and everything is gross, but we need to still do all the body work to the firewall, and I need to do final fit on everything on the firewall. So come over here, bud. So the one thing we are doing is we are putting the 5-speed back in the car. I mounted the master cylinder temporarily just to make sure that the holes and everything work. We got this was a Z-bar that we made for the car originally with the clutch pedal, and it's only just mocked in here, but you can actually see the transmission.
Let's go under your car.
No, we're not going under there.
To show them the shifter thing.
You can show them after. Let me see.
Okay.
Thank you. Ooh. So everything's just mocking up right now, so that way we can start the rest of the body work and finish this car. So you can see the clutch pedal. That was a through floor design that we did years ago, and that operates like that. Master cylinder, nothing's hooked up. Obviously the pedal, and then you got the gas pedal. So this is the trans. It is a 5-speed. That is a inline style V-gate, they call it, shifter. It was custom made. The handle was extended. I had somebody come in here and fabricate this because originally the handle was only to here, and that mounted all the way down here. Because the problem is it was too low for this car, because the way the floors are in this car, they're actually kind of low. Normally your tunnel on a car, the motor and trans would be up a little higher, but this style car is different. So it does work, and it's been in the car before, but we have to fix all this. This was something I cut a while ago when I cut the dash, and I did a different gauge panel, so I still have to kind of modify that and fix that. But the car's been sitting, so it just got kind of beat up. Everything needs work. So before we start doing the body work and finishing it and painting it, I wanted to make sure that the motor and everything fit and everything was good, because we still have to mock up the exhaust, because I'm changing the exhaust. So I got to get the fenders on here temporarily. Once I get the fenders on, then I can mock up the exhaust. So everything right now is just getting built for the setup. And you're asking me what the setup is. Well, there's only so much I'm going to talk about, but I can show you. So that's a tunnel ram setup. This was originally set up for 2 carburetors. Ooh, look down inside there. It's actually going to have fuel injection now. So we're doing dual throttle bodies up top and fuel injection. This intake was not made for fuel injection. As you can see, this block here is in the way of the fuel injection for the injector, and none of them are drilled. So I have to actually have somebody machine it and drill all these. And then they have to drill and tap the mounting blocks here for the rails. So not a big deal. It's just another step when they make these intakes. It would either be for fuel injection or not. And I bought it as a carbureted setup. So the motor is looking kind of grimy. That's only just because it's been on an engine stand waiting, and it's all getting painted. The motor, nothing's staying like that. So that's going to be a surprise when we're all ready to paint. I'll let you guys know. But this is all getting redone. The frame, it's just horrible. I mean, you got areas of the frame that something leaked there, and it caused the paint to bubble off. You got paint bubbling off over here. I think we had a brake line leak or something at one time. I don't know. But it's grimy. So I gotta, once this is all mocked up, once the headers and the exhaust is made, then we'll pull everything back out. Here, you want a video?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll basically pull everything back out, and then get the firewall all squared away, set. But I wanted to make sure that my throttle linkage is going to work. I don't have to open up another hole in the firewall, because I'm trying to keep the firewall as smooth as possible, because this is brand new. I did this a year ago. I put this brand new this whole new sheet metal firewall in, because this is not the original firewall. I wanted to close it off, so the original one had multiple holes, which is unsafe. So I really wanted to make it nice. It's still the original position. I just remade the actual firewall, so now it's a smooth firewall. So I'm going to have to obviously add holes for, you know, electrical connectors coming in and out, grommets, stuff like that. The throttle linkage over here, there is a hole because it's a mechanical linkage that comes through here. But I have to make sure that's going to work, because the throttle body setup that I'm putting on this, I believe they mount, I think they mount in line the way they're set up, but I won't know until they're here. So I already ordered those. I just have to wait. So once that's all set, then we'll just start going to town on everything else. But I had to throw the seat in it so we could make sure the shifter worked. Start. So if anybody's wondering, this car was originally set up with a 5-speed. It had I had a Doug Nash 5-speed in it a long time ago. We ended up swapping it out and putting the 4L80 in it. The 4L80 worked really well, but I'm at a point now where I really want the car to work better on motor. And in order to make it work better on just motor alone, I need to throw the stick back in it, because I want it to be more violent. So, because it's fun. So here, show them how the shifter works. It's pretty wild. So this right here, that's neutral. In the middle, up and down. So that's first, all the way up and in is first. So then all you do is pull second, third, fourth, fifth. And then reverse is when you're in fifth, you pull all the way back and it goes into reverse. Without the car running, it doesn't fully shift into gears, and technically you should not be dry shifting. I just wanted to show you how it actually works. So that's first. That's how you get into first. And that's neutral. If that can move freely up and down, that's neutral. So it needs to be adjusted still. It's a little off. But the clutch setup works good. The pedal height's perfect. So that's easy to push with my foot here. The brake pedal height's nice because it's not really in my way. And then the gas pedal, I have my little tow hook because it's going to be mechanical, which I actually like better because you have a little more control over a stuck throttle. Because when you have a cable only, you can't do anything with stuck throttle. It kind of stinks. So, but that's the setup. And yes, it does have removable steering wheel. But people have to understand that an original, everybody always says, oh, that's a race car. It's a tin can race car. Yeah, well, we had to put a cage in it. That's number one, because it has to be safe. But if you look around, it is the stock body. The floors are still stock. This is the stock sheet metal from 1939. So do the math on 1939 to 2022. This is old. And that is the original floor to this car. So the original floor goes all the way to the trunk. That's all original. The problem with the original suspension is the original front suspension was a Neanderthal style independent front suspension, which would never have worked. So you have to do an aftermarket suspension. So we did the Mustang too. And then the rear suspension was dinky little leaf springs with an original style rear from 1939. That's not going to work. So you have to change it. So we ended up doing the mini tub with a ladder bar. Because what am I going to do? You're going to put leaf springs back in it? If you're changing the entire suspension, the dumbest thing you could do is put leaf springs back in a car. You might as well do a ladder bar or something even better than that. Triangulated 4-link or even just a regular 4-link. I mean, why not? You're already modifying. It's not stock. Even if you put leaf springs back there, it's technically not stock. I don't care what anybody says because it's not the stock leaf springs. So people that try to play that game. But I mean, your doors, these are original doors, original window cranks, original windows. The vent windows I never had, so I ended up just putting Lexan in where the vent windows go. And that's really just for safety. The front windshield's Lexan, and that's just for safety too.
It is?
Yeah. It's original dash, but unfortunately I cut it because I modified with more gauges. So we're going to change all that. But as far as like stock steering column, the stock steering column is dangerous. The whole steering on this car, originally, everything's dangerous. So in order to build a car like this and to build it safe, it's going to have to be completely redone. But every part of the body on this car is stock. That's the crazy part. Everything, the fenders, the hood, the body, the roof, everything is, it's all original. I had to do a couple patches here and there, but nothing major. This car was in great shape. I found it in Connecticut, too, back in 2015. So, but yeah, everything needs to be touched up. Inside here needs to be touched up. The cage.
I didn't even know they had cars in 1939.
What? First car was like was it 1912? Was one of the first gas-powered automobiles.
This thing is
1960.
rare.
Yeah, it's old. So.
Well, it's kind of.
So yeah, so that's it. We're gonna, as we get a little further, we'll show you guys some more. We're just gonna start digging in. So once we're gonna start building the headers soon, and then go from there, and that'll be a sneak peek of what the header's gonna look like, and what the exhaust is gonna look like. Don't tell them. What do you guys think the exhaust is gonna look like? What do you think the exhaust is gonna be?
I don't know.
So I have something in mind. It's not gonna be the fender exit style that I had before, which I do have the headers still, but I kind of want to change it around. I want to make it different. The car's going to have a whole nother attitude this year. So that's it. So let's get going here. All right.